It's the Machine of Nonsense, and it's the Nonsense of the Year Awards 2023, Day 2. Day 1 consistent of the most disappointing and best characters of 2023, and that was a lot of fun. Well, Day 2 is going to be Best Moment and Best Movies. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Hey.
And most of her voice. And Mike.
I don't know why it broke up. I'm sorry.
Mike's here. I'm here. Here we go.
And
here. I'll say here again.
And we got Demetrius for his first ever Nonsense of the Year Awards. Demetrius, how are you this morning?
I'm gonna be so much better as soon as I get this coffee. So.
Indeed. If you can't tell, I've already had several cups. All right. So last time on the Nonsense of the Year Awards, we did most disappointing things and best characters. Before we get going today, I'm going to do a thing I didn't do in the last episode and say, because we're going over the best things of 2023, we're going to have to spoil them. We're going to have to talk in depth about them. So if you're afraid
especially for moments,
definitely. So if you're afraid of spoilers or anything else, we'll try to say like, hey, this is what we're talking about. Hit the go forward button a couple times or hit the pause button. Go check that thing out because we make beautiful recommendations and then come back and listen or watch later. This will be available both in video format and audio format. So if you're on your podcast app right now and you want to see our faces and our list, go to YouTube. It'll be there. And if you're on YouTube and you're like, I would rather not see these people, how can I do that? You can go to all the different. We're on every podcast app. So you've been warned. All the different ways you can be warned.
I can't see their faces. They're too pretty. Can't do it. I want to lunge into my laptop. Just looking at it.
Yes, indeed.
And also, if you hate our voices and our faces, you just join our fan page.
Yes, indeed. Very good. Very good. Yeah, we're all over social media too, including the Facebook fan page called Monstars. So you'll never see our faces there. Or really hear our voices. It's very text-based medium there. So, all right. We've been doing this now. This is our third year of the Nonsense of the Year Awards. So let's take a look back at what we nominated in our two categories, Best Moment and Best Movies, in 2021 and 2022. So Best Moment of 2021, we had the end of Loki Season 1. I'm not going to put what's in parentheses there. Not going to talk about it. What were we arguing about? The scene in Old on the beach, a just really poignant moment. Another poignant moment, the I Am a Revolutionary speech from Judas and the Black Messiah. The bridge battle, Echo versus Jinx in Arcane, Season 1. And probably number one in our hearts, Joe Colley's death, affectionately known as Jogurt in Midnight Mass. 2021, what a year.
What a show.
What a show. Our movies for 2021 were Bo Burnham's Inside, a film I still listen to quite often. Judas and the Black Messiah, great movie. The Suicide Squad, the better of the two Suicide Squad movies, significantly better. The Green Knight, a movie I'm sorry to say I still haven't.
Oh, hell yeah. God, we got Green Knight on there. Hell yeah, Tomas. Yeah. You and me, baby.
Kayla, we need to watch Green Knight really bad.
Yeah, it's on my list. I'm looking at it. I checked.
And it has been since 2021.
Right now,
oh,
so.
it is?
Yes.
Oh,
I think.
All right.
So.
We're watching Green Knight. And finally, but not leastly, I don't know if people say that, the Lost Daughter, a wonderful Olivia Colman performance.
Man, that was a me year. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 2021. What a year in stuff. Let's look at 2022, shall we? Our best moments were the one-shot episode of The Bear, Season 1. The Nature of a Thing speech in God of War Ragnarok. The flare scene from The Batman. Every Inch Counts from Barbarian, Chef Kiss. Very good. And learning to let go in Tunic. Learning to cheese and learning to ask for as much help as possible. What a game. Tunic. On to our best movies of 2021. No, I did best movies, didn't I? Our best movies of 2022, folks. I've got it all this morning. Here we go. Best movies of 2022.
Kayla, he needs another cup.
I think I do. I think I might.
He's closer to the coffee.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Best movies of 2022. The Batman. Prey. What a movie. Bodies, and Barbarian. Great year in movies.
I like that 21 set. I like that one a lot.
21 was really good. A little more eclectic. We kind of had very much went deep in genre in 22. But that's what we do. 2022. On to 2023, right? Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's spoil some shit.
Put it in.
But before D, how did we do on last week? What do you think with our characters in Mr. Disappointing?
Yes.
Oh, I could list those off. I could do that. On our last episode, we had most disappointing was Secret Invasion, Marvel's Secret Invasion, Starfield from Xbox, The Witcher Season 3 from Netflix, Final Fantasy 16 from Square Enix, and the mass layoffs in the games industry from the games industry and real life.
And just spreading that into 2024.
Yeah, that's great that they kept it up and that they're making it eligible for 2024. Good on them. Best characters, we had Ken from Barbie, Miles Morales from various Spider-Man properties, Superfly from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, Karlach from Baldur's Gate 3, and Willie Jack, a two-time winner of this award from Reservation Dogs. D, what'd you think?
Man, the most disappointing is like, yeah, I resonate with that. That's crazy.
Depressing as hell. You're like, damn.
Yeah. Well, it was like you just list off as I was reading everything, I was like, man, 2023. Good God, I really tried to pack it in.
Do we have some things from you that we should add to the list? Like even our long list, it represents. Because you were unable to, right?
Yeah. No, I was looking at the long list. Yeah, no, there's not much I can really add to that because it's got stuff on there that I would have put.
I know you were a big disappointment in Quasno Screeny, our boy Quaz being left out of the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah. What a horrible thing.
Oh, good stuff. I have, so even though they can't be here, Ryan, Tomas, and Aaron have all submitted lists for best moment and best movies. So I figure we can maybe start with them and go from there. How's that sound, guys?
I suppose.
Hell yeah.
Aaron submitted a scene from It Lives Inside, the flashlight scene. He describes it as a scene where a character looks into a dark closet, shines a flashlight. Some beaming eyes are gone as they shine the flashlight. Then they unshine the flashlight, and the eyes shoot out. He says it's one of the greatest horror scenes he's ever seen, even not just this year. I love light tricks like that. One of my favorites is in the first Saw movie with like the guy taking photographs and the flash kind of illuminating. And so anytime you mess with a flashlight, anytime you mess with like a flash or light of any kind, I love it. So the flashlight scene in
Alan will get his turn coming up, I'm sure.
Hey, maybe flashlight scene in It Lives Inside. Oh my! He doesn't like Alan Wake. Okay,
that's not true.
We'll find out. We will find out. Fisk, everyone. Spoilers for Fisk, the show Fisk. There is a scene where Helen makes partner. She does.
Hell yeah, Helen. You go, girl.
Breaking that glass ceiling. I love it. Helen makes partner in Fisk.
Why the fuck was there a glass ceiling? That's my question.
Well, that's like a BBC show, so they probably call it Glars or something, right? Or something like that. Glars ceiling.
The Blarney ceiling or something. Yeah.
Pretty
The
sure
garden.
it's just a very sophisticated metaphor. That's why there was a ceiling of glass.
Glars.
And
I really like that word.
I think you're thinking Australian, Mike.
Thank you for the perfect segue. Speaking of Australian, I think this is an Australian movie. Hope it's not New Zealand, because I always get those things mixed up. The final scene in Talk to Me is Aaron's pick. I won't spoil it. Because
Eric wants to see it.
Well, I've already read it at this point, but I don't want to spoil it for the viewers, the listeners. It sounds
cool movie.
It sounds
final scene.
The final scene from Talk to Me. So those are Aaron's picks for best moments.
Nice.
Let me see if I can just go ahead and copy paste. Maybe this will.
He only has 3.
He only has 3. Yes.
Okay. Makes it.
Good job,
easy.
Aaron.
Makes it quick. Let's look at Ryan, see if it can. Yeah, let me copy paste. Look at this. We'll go through Ryan's a little bit faster. He had a scene from Vinland Saga. He has 2 scenes from Vinland Saga. Actually, the I Have No Enemies scene. D, are you familiar with the scene? Good scene?
Yes. Very good scene.
Okay. You might have to defend it later on.
I easily can.
Awesome. He also picked another scene from Vinland Saga. Einar confesses his love for Arnheid. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I love a love confession scene. Full disclosure. So good stuff. Godzilla -1, Godzilla boat chase. I've heard a lot of good things about the Godzilla -1 boat chase. So I'm gonna have to say that that's probably pretty good. One Piece, the Gear 5. That's like a transformation, right? Gear 5, like a.
It is like a transformation.
Okay.
That's accurate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turns into Bugs Bunny.
Okay. I dig it.
He's got.
It's too good. He's speechless.
Yeah. I get it. People love One Piece. And the final best moment of 2023 for Ryan is the I'm Just Ken scene in Barbie. Great song, great moment for a great character, a character
they figure it out.
Say is
even the Kens come together. Good.
They're just Ken. So that is Ryan's list for best moment.
Good job, Ryan.
Good stuff.
Simu shines in that scene.
Tomas likes to give a lot of commentary here, so let's see how easy this.
He just sent us a clip, actually.
This will be, this will be interesting to see how it pastes here. So, spoilers for Queen Charlotte. The end of Queen Charlotte when she's holding George's hand under the bed at the end of the show. Cried.
It is really good,
like a baby.
It does give me like my eyes are already filled with tears just thinking about it. It was really good.
Wow.
In the meantime, when that's happening, there's like even like other stuff happening that's also really sweet. It's nice.
The entire episode 3 of The Last of Us. I mean, come on, we all know it's a good ass.
We all know.
Episode.
Very good.
A good Mario movie coming out was part of just the fact that it exists in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I agree.
Richie episode, parentheses.
I'll die on a hill way before Tomas does. To be clear, that's not a fair.
I'll die on this hill, comma, Kayla.
I don't want that fight.
This is the Forks episode of The Bear featuring Richie, his 1 week in hell.
I don't mind Richie's
Was it, though?
change. What I don't mind is the way everybody responds to it. Don't like that everybody's just like, oh, hell yeah, Richie.
Why not?
They want him to succeed, man. They want him to succeed.
They're a family.
Also,
I don't mind even like the family, but the fucking people in the restaurant that he's working for, that he was just super like he doesn't belong there. He's like messing everything up.
But now he does.
Fucking with my day as that employee, as the dude who was showing him around and laying into him, to then just be like, yeah, Rishi was really cool. No, dude, get the fuck out of here. Thank God it's over. Go back to your fucking Carmi.
On to
I don't like
some more positivity here. Poddin with y'all. Poddin with y'all. Tomas always likes to put a nice heartfelt message in his
makes him feel good.
And Poddin with y'all.
Thank you, buddy.
His final. We love you, Tomas. We love
He's dying on his hill today, though.
We'll see. Last but not least, no, that was all of the moments. That was Ryan, that was Tomas, and that was Aaron. So that's it. That is it for them. How about I do my list? Sound good, guys?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. My best moments. I like to put mine in somewhat of an order, so I'll start with my number fine. My number 5. My number 5.
That's a fine 5.
It's
you
a
got
5. This copy paste is very, very nice. I've learned to copy paste in Excel, folks, from a one Excel to another. It's really good.
Oh man, that's what happens. That's cool.
It's amazing. Loki becomes spoilers for Loki season 2. This is pretty much the final scene of definitely my favorite scene, and in a very the scene is Loki becomes Yggdrasil, the life tree of Norse mythology. It was a very uneven season overall that stuck the landing, I think. Like at the end of the day, like how it all wrapped up and where it leaves the characters, I was very satisfied and very happy. So maybe like a B overall for the season, something, not to spoil maybe that it's not on my show's list, but just really an example of like a show that, okay, cool, you did the thing. And if this was your idea for the show from the beginning, then you stuck the landing. Then good
cool
stuff. Good ending.
Shout out to God of War Ragnarok for making that make sense without me even knowing, seeing that. So,
good stuff. This next
I don't know how I didn't see that coming. Like when I look back at Loki, I'm like, oh, duh.
Right.
I think it's done so well that it would have been hard to. I didn't see it coming at all. I think going into that like final episode and even the scene where it happens, I'm still like, okay, how are they wrapping this up? How what's going on here?
The season was interesting, but that was like a light bulb moment. Like, oh fuck, shit, okay.
It was great. My number 4 is Flying with Marin in Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. A really cool ass game this year that it doesn't get enough credit because it came out in a year of just a bunch of amazing games. It was a little buggy, as well. But there is a scene midway through this game where you get to fly, and it's really, really cool. It's a big boss battle. It's very cinematic, and it's just cool. And the relationship between Cal and Marin is really they get in deep with it, and them doing this together. They're kind of sharing their powers is like the whole thing. And
Yeah, nobody's allowed to have no Night Sister power, but she lets Cal.
Yeah.
She gives it to Cal.
It's really cool. It's
because she trusts him.
It's just
And dang Night Sisters.
Dope ass game.
Yeah, good game.
Fun. It's fun time. You're like flying and then jumping into a portal. You like gotta get into it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Good game, great scene. Number 3 for me is Zelda's a fucking dragon from Tears of the Kingdom. I
knew it.
That
I saw coming.
I was pretty. Oh, see, I did not. That game, the narrative is told in a very odd way. You can like spoil things for yourself depending on how you traverse different ways. You know, you're given full freedom in that game in a lot of ways, that like Breath of the Wild. And we got this fairly early on. There's a quest where you can kind of like get to the bottom of this, and we did it fairly early on. But I didn't feel like that it spoiled anything in the narrative. It like then it almost made it that much better to like, okay, well now my goal is to save her, right? And save her in a really interesting way. And like it to me, it gave great context to just, it's an immense sacrifice that she makes, like to turn into the dragon. She's trapped in this form for like, I don't know, 10,000 years or something or whatever, like in a crazy amount of time. And
who knows? Time.
It's but I just think it like adds so much depth to Zelda's character, a character that oftentimes is just like, oh yeah, she's trapped in the castle and you got to go save her kind of thing. Like I think it gave her really importance in so many ways. Zelda's fucking dragon, guys. Great stuff.
Boo.
Nah.
Add it to the list of animals she's been.
Number 2, the Hey Jude sing-along in Ted Lasso season, this was 3, right?
Beetle lover, you.
Yeah, you know me, I love the Beatles. This was an immense tearjerker. They used the song very, just very well. I mean, it's the song is about kind of a family breaking up and you know, a kid not understanding that and all of those things. And that's what the scene is about as well. The assistant coach, Ted Lasso's assistant coach, is kind of explaining the song, the lyrics of the song, and why Ted is singing it and why it's important and everything to Ted's son. But also the audience, is watching this, and it's just like the perfect in a year where there's a lot of great needle drops and a lot of great like musical moments throughout this year. This one did it for me. And then getting to go there too probably helped. I've been to the place that they shot the scene.
The scene happened.
Yeah, it's it's just cool. So the Hey Jude sing along.
And it's a cool ass show. So
yeah, good show. Another one that like a little uneven, but I think they stuck the landing as well. On that one. And last but certainly not least for me, my number 1. Another one that got me a little watery-eyed was the Creep opening of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like a slow acoustic version of the song Creep by Radiohead. And as Rocket slowly kind of walks through nowhere, it's a nice introduction to where everyone is at this point. Like, we haven't seen the Guardians in a while, especially if you didn't watch the Christmas special. It kind of sets the stage, and then you think it's Rocket listening to the song, and he is, because it's being like blasted over the loudspeakers, but you find out that it's his best pal Star-Lord is actually the one playing it, and he's not in a good place. And it's I don't know. It hit me really hard. I like that song also. That helps.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs. And
The Guardians are great.
and the Guardians are great, and it was a great movie, and it just like that got me in, like immediately, okay, this movie's gonna fucking rock. And hey, didn't disappoint. So yeah, the creep opening from Guardians 3 is
Good stuff.
my number one.
Good list.
Thank you. D, you're next in line in my Discord screen if you'd like to go next.
Okay. I think I can do that. Wait.
I typically order my list. Some of us order our list,
Yeah,
but some
it's not
some
mandatory.
don't. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not mandatory. You also
we
need
will
to have fun.
we will eventually make a top 5,
Oh,
so it don't matter.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
So I guess the first one I'll rattle off is the Bear season 2, Fishes. Just
Fishes.
that whole Christmas episode.
That's nuts.
Probably the second best episode of the year.
I love the final scene, honestly, of that one was on my personal long list for a very long time. That was a late cut of mine. But Fish is great.
I know these scenes
Great
are
episode.
like great performances, and it's why they're so great performances, because they make me feel so disgusted and uncomfortable. I hate feeling that way. I hate feeling that way. I get that they're like holy shit moments, but God, I just don't even want to think about them anymore.
It's effective, right? Like they did the
effective.
job, you know.
It did.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis fucking
Ooh.
gave me PTSD and trauma, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah. It just really resonated with me
Same.
deeply.
Holidays, yo.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes a little more specific than that, Kayla. It just really cut deep on that one. Yeah, I don't have much to say about that right now. The next one for me is Across the Spider-Verse. It's a canon event.
Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. It's so good.
Oh my god, so good! Like what a scene, man. Oh, okay, no, yeah, I can
When
talk.
does when does that scene end? Because then even like it just goes into
It goes right into the finale.
Right, and it's so hard to like. Sorry, Ken.
Oh, so you're adding like the Fincher fucking 7 ending and everything?
I'm just saying, like, right in that moment, you're just like, all right, this is it. And then more comes and you're like, all right, this is it.
Yeah, no. And I think that's why this specific moment that leads, like, the flow of this movie, I could talk about all day.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that this leads into what feels like you're getting the end, and then you get that little bit more after what you feel like is the end. Woo!
And that little bit more is huge. Like, yeah, right? Like
massive. It's massive. It's massive. Which again, that could be its own moment as well. But
yeah.
But my other one I wanted to mention was an Oshinoko, which is anime that came out this year. And huge spoiler, Ai Hoshino actually dies. This is a like idol singing show, good vibes, the music's good, their animated characters are cute. And then what you believe to be the main character actually dies.
What was the character name again?
AI space and then Hoshino.
Nice. actually dies.
And it's really connected to one of the weirdest twists, which makes this very much anime. But it's just this whole first episode, quote unquote, is like an hour and a half.
Mm.
They just essentially dropped 3 episodes at once, turned it into a special. Anime doesn't usually care enough to do that. So it was like this whole thing you sat through, you get connected, and then they just rip her out from under your feet.
Mm.
Now, how she dies, I'm not going to talk about that because it's a really that's more spoilery than just saying she dies.
Oh,
It's like, love a good like pull the rug out from under you death like that. I mean, like
Yeah.
some shows and movies and stuff are just made on those things. Games too, I guess.
Games too. Games too.
Maybe we'll see something like that in what, February, right? We'll see. Cryptic. I
Yeah.
know.
I'm really interested to see what they do with that part of the game.
Okay, so that was, and then, so my fourth one, I actually just changed.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's funny because I see this best character, so it'll be great. And Sea of Stars, when Carl dies,
Yeah,
that
girl.
that was like video game deaths, man. That's in my top 20 easily.
It's very good. And then I forget his name, homeboy, like the Oracle or whatever.
Oh, LaShawn.
Like, just freezes time. Yeah, and it's and he has like that, the dialogue with the bad guy. It's really, it's probably the best part of the game. It's very good.
100%.
Yeah, man. Okay, and then I guess my fifth one. It's from Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Ooh.
And again, I see a trend here. Scott is dead? Question mark.
Oh.
I see a trend here.
I only watched like the first few episodes of it so far, and the thing that Dee's talking about comes up like pretty quick.
Wow.
Mhm.
And I thought it was really interesting. I was kind of surprised to see it. Someone had it on their most disappointed. Again, I didn't finish the series, but I thought it at least begins pretty well.
Nice. Yeah, I really want to check that one out. Kayla's never seen the original. I have, but I heard that they recontextualize a lot of that stuff in a big way.
Yeah. It is fully recontextualized as a word I would use to describe
cool.
this show.
Good stuff. Yeah, nice. Good listy. I enjoy that a lot. I hope Tomas is wrong about Scott Pilgrim Takes Off because I'd like to check it out at some point. Kayla, you're next up on my screen.
Can you teach me how? Can I
Dougie?
copy? Sure, I can. Yeah, I can.
You
do
would
that.
have to
I think
probably
the
teach
roles
me.
would be reversed.
Yes, I think you're right. I do not know how to Dougie.
Can I copy my list into the chat for you? Would that help from my Excel?
The Discord chat.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let me see if I can pull that up on my side. Maybe. Yeah, send it my way. I think I've got a way to do this. Maybe, as I struggle to do so. Yeah. I think I can do this. Try it out.
I would like cut and paste,
Yeah, do it.
but nobody else read it. Otherwise, you'll get spoiled on my list.
Well, you can send it in a direct message to me as well.
Spoilers within my spoilers.
Can't have it. I was asking Eric before we were recording, like, well, I not really asked, but best moments is like my favorite list to come up with. I was wondering if you guys had a favorite that you had to do.
It's oftentimes one of the harder ones too, or at least the one that like takes the most like effort and thought and stuff. Because I know when I go about it,
it's the hardest to cut. I hate it.
Yeah, I had to make some tough cuts.
Are these in order, Kayla? I did get your list.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Your number 5 was on my long list for quite some time.
Ooh.
Okay, here we go.
Let's do it.
My turn. Let me bring Discord back up.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Across the Spider-Verse, in the wrong universe. I like, yes, it comes off of, he says, you do the fucking chase, he puts in the shit, he's sneaking around, getting out, homegirls, like, trying to run after him and save him and listening to him, like, try to tell his mom that he's Spider-Man, as she's like, I told him not to do that, and she's in such this terrible place listening for herself and listening to him make that same choice. And then, like, everything's off, and you just catch these little things. And, of course, she's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is Spider-Man? You're crazy. You're crazy, Poppy.
Yeah.
And then Uncle Aaron comes in and makes comments about his hair. And, like, watching it a second time, I'm like, holy shit. Like, obviously all this stuff is laid out, but I remember the first time just being, like, so fucking blown away.
Yeah. And then the reveal of Miles, and he's like, I'm Miles Morales. and
he's fucking Prowler, and he looks so fucking scary and cool. Yeah, it was just cool.
Very, yeah.
Oh yeah, this is me. I got to go back to my list. Taken away. And then I have another Spider-Man moment as number 4. I have the carnival scene in Spider-Man 2. That is a game that for me was just full of like story beat moments that were cool as hell. Some of them were not playable and some of them were playable. The carnival scene in Spider-Man 2, your Peter, your homeboy Harry just showed up and is like, hey, I'm better now. Check me out. I got this cane just for like, just in case, but I feel great. Let's go to the carnival. You, me, MJ, like old times. And they run into Miles and they're playing all these carnival games. And then shit pops off. And Harry's got a fucking gooey alien on him. And he's like helping fucking Peter save the carnival. And it's just cool as hell. And then you just takes off. And then you got Venom powers. Cool as hell. Yeah. So many scenes in Spider-Man 2. I like that game a lot.
Got the goop.
I got the goo.
Alien goo. Alien ooze.
You got the ooze.
Number 3 for me is The Last of Us Endure and Survive. That's not the Bill and Frank episode.
No.
That's the Sam. Is his name Sam? And Eddie?
Oh.
Can't even remember their names.
Sam,
it's the brothers.
Yeah.
Brothers.
God.
Yeah,
what is Sam's brother's name?
All I can think of is Bill and Frank right now.
All right.
But in the show, he's hearing impaired. He's deaf. He uses sign language, and I was blown away by that kid's performance. In The Last of Us, of course, he gets bitten, and Ellie knows, and Ellie tries to save him. And again, I get teary-eyed just thinking about then they wake up in the morning and he's infected and his brother has to kill him. And then Ellie has to kind of live with that decision. Like, what could she have done? But it fucking happened. It didn't work. She couldn't save him. And they like bury him and it's, that one's That one's rough for me.
It's another one of those like subtle changes they made to the show, like some of her actions and stuff, like trying to give him the blood and all that. Like
Right.
it's cool.
And just like the moment where his brother has to point a fucking gun at him, just otherwise he's gonna bite Ellie. And not that is it Ellie? But he doesn't know that Ellie's.
No,
I mean,
yeah, right. Henry.
But still,
is
he
the
was
brother's name.
Henry.
Yeah.
Yes, he was gonna rip her up. They can still be torn apart, and he had to shoot him. And whew, it's fucking rough. And then he kills himself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. See, that one's been on my list like since it fucking happened, so I haven't watched it in a while. That's on my rewatch list. Number 2, again, something I watched a long time ago, is the Black Mirror episode 3, Beyond the Sea. There's a lot to say about this episode. Did anybody else watch it?
Yeah,
I did.
So it's Josh Hartnett and
Man, big year for
Aaron
him.
Paul.
yeah,
Right.
Aaron Paul. Yeah.
And they're like in
Maybe.
this alternate universe where they're space people. They're humans, but they are astronauts. But they have like super lifelike doubles that stay on Earth. And they're in space. And like once a week they can come down into their body and be with their family. They like go into the android. And Josh Hartnett is
Conjugal
like,
visit.
yeah, Josh Hartnett is, of course, like handsome and popular and famous, and his family's beautiful, and his house is beautiful, and his life is great. But they're weird. It's like like the whole world knows that these astronauts are like robots on Earth, and so some people love them, some people hate them. And this fucking cult comes in and murders his whole family in front of him while he's like a robot. He's got like super strength and doesn't get hurt, but he watches his family while he's physically up in space get brutally fucking murdered.
One thing
And he
to
can't
note
come home.
about the cult, led by Kieran Culkin, in a great little cameo.
Ooh. Oh man.
I don't know if I want to
Amazing.
tell you anymore because it gets wild.
Wild from there. Yeah.
Already, that setup is just, I'm in. And Aaron Paul, I should tell you a little bit about Aaron Paul, I guess. He's like this. He lives out in the country. He doesn't have like a phone. He doesn't go to the store. He's like, I'm just here in my little country town with my beautiful wife that I don't touch. I don't touch her because that's a sin to let a robot touch my woman.
No.
And you can
Well.
see how
So-
well that's going to go, you know?
Yeah, so it's very wild. Great episode. I'll stop there because you're hooked. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Great episode.
You said
That
Mike,
does sound like a better version of the movie Foe.
I was
that
about to say
watched.
you saw Foe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that both of those came out last year, but it's great. I fully support that one. Kayla, that's great.
Number 1 for me is Barbie. The opening scene.
Mm. Hey Barbie.
No, not even that one.
Oh, okay.
I've not even seen the movie that it's that it's
2001: A
playing off.
Space Odyssey.
Oh,
Yeah.
got you. Right. Gotcha.
Because I was like, hell yeah, Barbenheimer, best moment of 2023. Am I right? It was just so fun going up to it. You got Christopher Nolan and Cillian Murphy and Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig all on the same day. It's in the middle of summer. Hell yeah, I'm doing a double feature. It was a great day. How do you pick which one to watch first? Well, I'm pumped for Oppenheimer. I thought that shit was gonna be. I didn't even care about Barbie. I didn't have any connection to Barbie. I didn't have any connection to Greta Gerwig. I was like not even understanding what this Barbie movie with Ryan. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have high expectations. But whereas Oppenheimer, I did. Then you get that opening scene, and it's like, all these years, you're Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Girls just had baby dolls. And spoiler alert, I don't have kids. I'm not into taking care of kids. And the scene is like, right, all these girls, the only option they had was to be mommy. And now they have all these other things. And I was like, the fuck? They're right. I'm in. And then they're busting the baby dolls.
Yeah.
And it's just so fucking funny. I was like, oh shit, this is the Barbie movie. I get it. This is what the Barbie movie's about. It was like letting us all know. This is not what you thought you were getting into. And fucking loved it the whole ride through. That's it. That's my list.
Great call.
Hell yeah.
Good call.
Great list.
Excellent. Mike, you get to round out best moments.
All right, here we go. My first one is Barry Needs a Gun. That's what I titled that one.
That's good.
It's good.
The final scene, or the final season of Barry, late in the season, there was a time skip where Barry has been on the lam. He's different identity now. He's gone like full religious, like kind of at like trying to, move on from his past. But Henry Winkler's character comes back in and he's got to finish him off. And as he's like going back to California from like Oklahoma, he keeps listening to these podcasts from all these different pastors and stuff. And all of them keep saying there is no way that killing someone is not like the biggest sin or something like that, until he finally finds one weirdo podcast that gives him the little bit of when the window opens up a little bit, and he takes it and he walks into like we assume like a Walmart, and he just walks up to the counter, and I think he just says like, "I need guns." And the lady's just like, all right. And he walks out fully strapped, like just AR-15s on every limb, and More Than Words from Extreme is playing. And he just walks out, and he gets in his car, and he doesn't take off any of the guns. And he just sits down in the car. with all these
So good.
And a brilliant show. And just one of the great moments from the season. My number 4 is the Bill and Frank twist. Great episode of television. Just I was blown away watching this episode. I remember sending into the Discord like, oh well, best moment already got ruined, like it happened already.
Then
And not until the very end, when they kind of like, it's going to be Bill's last, or Frank's like kind of last night. They know that his illness is they've treated it as much as they could, and I'm like, oh okay, this is what
his send off.
Yeah. But then Nick Offerman, puts the poison in both of their teas or whatever, and they're both going to go out, at the same time. And that's the moment where I'm like, okay, this is elevated above the game. This is the one. Mm-hmm. This is what this show deserves to be here, like from this. And my feelings on the other parts of the show don't really matter, because this is it. This is like maybe
stands on its own.
Yeah. And just a brilliant, wonderful thing. I would say I match up with Tomas on that one.
Yeah. Bill says like, this is not the tragic death at the end of the play, I think is like his line. And I had that in my best moments for most of the year. Like that's just such a great line. And yeah. Oh man. What a whew.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good pick.
It was really good.
My number 3 is Justice for Cooper. Bradley Cooper has been talking about, this Maestro thing, how long it's been in development. The script's been around for years. I've worked for 6 years just for 6 minutes of conducting. I'm a super actor. And it's like, all right, whatever, dude. But then you fucking see it.
And you see it.
This is the Mahler's Resurrection Symphony in the cathedral scene, and
oh my god,
I don't know nothing about Leonard Bernstein, you know, but this performance let me know, oh, okay, that dude was amazing. Like, I don't know, like, because Cooper is amazing in it. And I can only assume that he only got up to 99% maybe of the real thing. But, you know, people complain about the movie like it's not what they wanted to know about Bernstein. Like, I wanted to focus on the later part of his life, or where's West Side Story. Like, they don't bring up any of that stuff. I'm like, no, that scene lets me know about all of that.
The struggles
lets
get
me
there.
know, like, it blew me away. I was like, whoa. My body felt like a surge going through it when I saw that scene. And Cooper is my Oscar winner. I haven't seen everything yet. He's my best actor. Carey Mulligan as well. I haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon. I haven't seen Lily Gladstone yet. But yeah, great scene. Great scene.
Here.
My number 2 is The Almost Miracle on Mulaney Street. I titled this one. I love the Fishes episode of this season of The Bear. And yeah, it's this, you know, this powder keg that keeps building for this Christmas thing. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, you know, Aunt so-and-so, I forget Jamie Lee Curtis's name. Like, you know, when is she going to go off, you know? And all of these things happen. You know, there's this huge standoff between John Bernthal and Bob Odenkirk right before dinner is served. Great scene. You know, the next episode's called Forks, but this episode could have been called Forks as well. And John Mulaney, he's gonna like say grace basically, and he just gives this beautiful, just like you know, anecdote about how he feels, you know, special to be included in this thing. He's like married to Sarah Paulson's character, and he's like, you know, not blood related to the family. And you think like, wow, that did it. You know, that was the perfect thing to do.
Cooled it off. Everybody's cool.
Yes. You think he pulled like, wow, John Mulaney, holy shit. I've seen John Mulaney do stand up, but I've never thought he could do like that, what he did.
Acting.
And but he doesn't. It's the almost miracle. And Jamie Lee Curtis still flies off the rocker and drives the car through the house. And just a great episode of TV. Fishes.
Yeah, ladies, top tier, so good.
My number 1, Eric, are you the champion or are you the herald? Which one are you? I'll be the other one. Herald of Darkness from Alan Wake 2 is my number 1. This is the big musical number of the game. The band performed it at the Game Awards this year, which was great. And what Remedy does, like with just live action stuff included in their games, is just one of a kind stuff. I love it. And it's basically just you're playing as Alan, and all these, you know, you're basically like going through backstage studio stuff, and on these huge screens is just displaying this awesome fucking rock concert going on. It's the song, the full length I think is like 13 minutes. And each section of this is just like a new, like you're going through verse 1 of the song, and then the solo, and then the end, like, and there's a breakdown part, and this song's
fighting enemies while you're running through.
You're getting your flare gun, which was like, oh yes, the flare gun from the first game. This is so cool. You know, you're shooting the flare gun. There's pyrotechnics going off, and I don't know. I really love the song. First and foremost, it's been stuck in my head forever now, and I just love the moment. I love it.
the stage directions and stuff are great. Like they're on the floor, like stand here, and like
Right.
enemies coming over here. Like,
Yes, and on the screen you're seeing the actor for Alan Wake, but the voice is Dr. Darling from another thing. Like, and you're seeing just seeing Sam Lake up there, and the choreography is so fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's so
it's fantastic.
I think it's
Wild.
worth watching out of context, you know, like what, like
I did.
yeah, right, yeah. Like, I think it's just like so fun. Like even if you don't ever plan to play the game, it's just like I think that is so cool.
Well, now I have to. Now I have to play the game.
Oh,
Now I
yeah,
need more context.
You should.
You know, because there's a similar kind of moment in Control that kept, like, there was a lot of hype for, and I kind of, I don't know, that one didn't hit as much for me as this moment was, and this moment kept getting, I was like, wait till you get to that part. I kept hearing on every podcast, it's the We Sing section, and it lived up to the hype. I loved it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ashtray Maze was good, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
Took the cake. All right. Wow. We have a massive list of best moments. We didn't really have any double ups per se.
Yeah, we have some ones we can say would count, I think, like the Fishes episode and the
Last of Us.
yeah.
Yeah, The Last of Us, yeah.
True. So do we want to say...
Like,
do we want to...
I could admit that I wanted to put Bill and Frank on mine too, but I knew it would be on here, so I went with something else just to have it also be mentioned. So I'm fine with the Bill and Frank being definitely in best moment.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll bold cut the Bill and Frank like twist, I think is probably the best way to put it, or Bill and Frank changes, something like that. Like I think that's
Just episode. I'm fine with it being
the whole episode.
That episode, yeah.
episode 3. It's so
Yeah, me
good.
too. It's everything, yeah.
3 Bill and go with that. Episode 3 Bill and Frank, The Last of Us. I think lock that in. I think we all love Fishes. As like an episode, as like a concept.
I like it better than
there
the
are like
episode.
10 different best moments in that episode. I think.
Right,
Hold on.
right. Again.
Yeah. I do I agree, but I have to defend the Richie episode a little bit. Because the only thing I'll say is just something you mentioned earlier, Kayla. You said the way he changes. He does not change. Richie doesn't change.
The way he treats people does.
He's a passionate guy that really loves restaurant. And at the top of this episode, he meets someone who's exactly the same as him, but has found a way to focus it in. So when that guy is sending him off, he's like, I knew you were like me. I just didn't know if you were going to be able to, redirect. Like it wasn't like, God, that's why I love that episode too. It wasn't like a big transformation episode. It was like, we've seen him care a lot about the episode up until like, every episode he cares. He just couldn't figure out where in the puzzle he fit because he was distracted by personal stuff. And once he was able to kind of just focus on him and have to only focus on him, like, oh, God, it's just, that's also a really good episode. And then again, he just, like you said, he just changes the way he passionately communicates.
Speaking as a passionate communicator, I totally get that, but it just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. I think there is some, like, and I think I mentioned it last time when it was brought up. Like, there is some suspension of disbelief that you have to have of like this is all occurring on like 5 days or a week,
Right.
or
That's
whatever.
what I have the problem with.
Yeah, and that's tough. That is like, and they've mentioned, I think like the creators mentioned it and in interviews and stuff like that, like that. So as long as you have to do that, and as long as you can do that, like suspend the disbelief that like a light bulb would go off for a guy, in 6-7 days, whatever. If you can believe that, then yeah, it's phenomenal because like I think it's everyone around Richie that really makes that episode. It's like he's having to absorb all of this and take it in, and oftentimes like wrestling with it, but it's like as a viewer of the episode, you're seeing, Olivia Colman, she's polishing silverware or whatever else. She's like, this world-renowned chef or whatever else, probably a multi-millionaire or whatever, known world around, but she's doing this menial task, right? And like that shit, that's meaningful, right? And then like the guy just saying like, oh yeah, I don't want to cook, I want to serve, like I want to like be a part of this, and like this
Right.
is those type of things, like so Richie's almost just like the avatar for
It's
you.
almost like Carmi has said that exact shit to him, but he has no respect for him and he hasn't listened to him.
Yeah.
It's almost like Richie treats the people he loves with no respect. I mean, almost kind of.
Well, we see
gives me them feels.
we see in the Fishes episode that Carmi's the little brother. He's always the little guy,
I get that. Yeah, Carmi's downfalls are acceptable.
I think
And Richie's are too. Richie's are too. It's fine.
it's
I
hard
love
to take advice from your little brother, I think, is the idea. Is like if you're constantly like, no, I should be giving you advice, Carmi,
Motherfucker is a world-renowned chef. I'm gonna take
that shit
fucking
doesn't matter to some
shaming
people.
advice from him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
Richie's idea of what the restaurant should be and what Carmi wants it to be are just wildly different. And I think acceptance and change can be different things. And I think Richie has to accept his role is different now. And I think it works so well.
And you gotta wonder, like, has Richie ever even like Carmi's not a great communicator, first off, but he's trying to communicate like this is what I want, right? Like, and he had to throw Richie into this situation and say like, I'm not explaining this right, I'm not putting it on like paper right or in verbally right. Maybe if you just see it in action, and how like what, because this is what my vision is for us. Like we could also do this. And I think
it's hard to envision things that you've never been a part of.
Yeah.
I'm down.
You got to wonder if Richie has ever
that.
gone to a restaurant like that, or ever even like watched a show where like a restaurant like that. Like Richie seems like just completely closed off from, like, I feel like Richie spends every fucking
being better
like,
from, and I mean he's
weekend
trapped in,
just drinking
he's a
beers,
product of his own
you know.
environment.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I just
You don't
I
need
feel,
to keep talking about Richie. You
Oh,
guys
no,
aren't
I
gonna
didn't-
choose.
no, I-
One more Richie thing. Richie has the dad moment of the year for me when he's dropping off his daughter, and he's like, "Daddy doesn't hate Taylor Swift, sweetie. He just, he had to turn her off for a little while. He just had to, just couldn't do it." I thought that was really great.
I don't hate Richie. I just don't love him.
Yeah, you do.
No, it's all good. I like, honestly, like, as much as I'm defending the Forks episode, I like the Fishes episode better. Like, just I'll put that one out there.
Because
Like,
he's
if
not
it's,
really.
if
that
it's
much
one
of it.
if it's one versus the other,
Yeah.
I'm Team Fishes personally.
That's what my suggestion was, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But okay,
I just had to die. I just had to die on the hill for Tomas. That's all.
no. Hey,
I think
man.
you all did. I think I did.
Okay.
I think Forks is great, but Fishes is where it's at for me.
We're gonna go Fishes. Oh, that's
Fishes.
bolded. It's already pre-bolded. Look at that, beautiful. Fishes. a bear.
You can probably delete this entire episode 3 Last of Us in the long list.
Yeah.
What?
In the long list, kind of middle.
Oh, entire
I-
episode 3 of Last of Us. Gotcha.
Well,
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll
Yeah,
shout out.
yeah.
I just want to explain a little bit more of this end of Queen Charlotte. I'll make it real quick, but for Tomas, since he's not here, so Queen Charlotte is the wife of like the Mad King, who is King George, and like they hide it. Like George's madness is a secret, and it's an arranged marriage and it comes out, but like they got love for each other, and he like hides under his bed. It's like the safe place that the people can't hear him and see him and everything. So like they're old at this point, and she crawls under the bed with him like in her full gown and stuff, and they just like hold hands, and he like comes back to her in that moment, like as like George, not Mad George. And they just have like a loving human interaction with like long lost lovers, basically, and it's really, really sweet.
Nice. So it's like
That's
the
it.
Notebook, kind of like that ending, similar.
They don't die, but
okay.
they're just like looking. They're just like laying on the floor, looking at one another under the bed.
I cry.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
That's yeah, holy shit.
I'm Just Ken can get moved up maybe a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, what do we think about I'm Just Ken as in a movie with a lot of good
I mean, I have my opening scene. Sorry, it just was right by the
I had the push scene on my list for a long time. What's the band?
Uh-huh.
The song. What's the Eric? Your band. You love this band. Matchbox 20.
Oh, thank you.
Gotcha.
I am also into that. As long as a Barbie scene gets
Full
in here,
disclosure,
I'm cool.
I don't love Matchbox 20. I like a couple of songs.
Oh, I think you love Matchbox 20.
This song comes on at work occasionally, and I instantly laugh. Like I'm just, oh yeah, and I look around. Anybody else? No, nobody else.
I love
so
that.
Good.
I thought it was really brilliant. Them all lined up on the beach with their fake fires, and the guys with the acoustic guitars, and then to have Rob Thomas come out later and think, "Oh, I'm so glad the song wasn't used as a joke," and he's such a fucking goober.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you didn't get it at all. But but I'm Just Ken is fantastic as well. I can't wait to see that performance at the Oscars. I would have loved to have had Peaches from Mario movie and I'm Just Ken both there.
I'm hovering
I don't
over
know.
Garl's death. I think several of us really like.
I love that moment. Yes.
Yeah.
There was a Vinland Saga moment that was.
Oh yeah. Out of those two, which one would you say is the better? And then
I have no enemies.
Okay.
I have no enemies.
So what is that?
Easy answer for D.
Yeah.
It's a character development peak.
Okay.
This is Thorfinn realizing something that he's been like really just fully struggling with. He is essentially a child soldier due to the death of his father. And his father's murderer ends up raising him and everything because he like is chasing this guy trying to kill him, but he's just literally a child. And the guy is just like, cool, you got that killer's intent, I can use that. And that is just how his journey starts. By the time we get to here, to I Have No Enemies, his father's murderer is dead, not by his own hands. He has lost his will to live, and he has become a indentured servant. They just say slave, but it's an indentured servant. And he's on this farm, and he's with this other guy, Einar, who is over here. And they're just going through it. they're trying to earn their freedom, and the guys on the farm, they obviously, classism, slavery, all the things that come with that, you can imagine. And it gets to this point where they're essentially trying to escape the farm with Arnhide because her husband comes back looking for her. There's just so much underneath this I have no enemies, because it all culminates to they have to talk to the owner so that they can safely cross and not get, brought back, that sort of thing. When they go to approach him, the farmhands that are above them block his path. And then this is like this bleeds into a whole other political conflict that's going on. And it's just so crazy that it all culminates to he goes to talk to the king of this country that he came from. And the warriors there, which is they're all Viking warriors, they're not gonna let him pass. They're like, well, you have to beat us. And he's like, I'm tired of fighting, I'm tired of bloodshed, I'm tired of death. He's like, what can I do to convince you to let me talk to him? And they tell him that he has to survive like 100 punches, and then he can, proceed through. And just that, and the follow up of, again, it's so hard to like fully put into like a synopsis words, because it is this like really like poignant scene of him like realizing that in a world where there's so much death and slavery and all this shit going on, that there's no enemies for him to fight. He has no enemies. He has to find a way to live. And it's just like Thorfinn's whole character arc leading to this. It's like all these little moments I mentioned. I tried to not get too long-winded about it. He has this amazing character arc that we see him grow from a boy that loses his father to this man who wants to, instead of take away from the world, just find a way to live, find a way to put something out there that matters. And it's just such a beautiful message of like, not so much pacifism, like realizing like when you take something, you're taking it from someone. You're taking a piece of their happiness away. And it's just going against the whole conquering and I don't know. It bleeds, and it's so good.
He sounds like a real Richie.
Kayla will love him. I think Kayla will love Thorfinn.
Thorfinn? Cooler.
Thorfinn is cooler.
Good stuff. Okay.
Even D says it.
I loved
One moment
Mike's.
sounds good.
I loved Mike's impassioned plea for Bradley Cooper to win Best Actor, especially because he's not going to, unfortunately. I don't think there's any buzz
That's unfortunate.
there, but
Cillian Murphy does not deserve an Oscar for wearing a fashionable hat for 3 hours. That's all he fucking does.
I mean, I will say, like, if you're talking straight transformations, like who transformed on screen, yeah, it's fucking Bradley Cooper. Like he makes that movie go in a big way. So I feel very strongly about that one. I think Bradley Cooper was very good in terms of Maestro, and I think it's one that'll bleed into 2024 because there's going to be a lot of talk around the Oscars of what Bradley does next or doesn't do next when he doesn't get it.
Yeah,
Herald of Darkness should probably be on our
I thought we were going to match on that one, Eric. Disappointed.
It was
in you.
I had a different scene on my long
Oh,
list
okay.
of Alan Wake 2 for a long time. I think the opening scene of that just gripped
Oh, okay,
me.
the True Detective scene.
Yeah, just really gripped me.
Yeah.
But Herald of Darkness is fucking dope, and if it's not in our top 5, that'd be sad.
What do we have so far? What's our top 5?
I think we have episode 3, the Bill and Frank, just all
Just the
everything with
top
that.
two.
We have fishes. I think we were locked in on both of those.
I think we need a I think we need to find out
Pick
what
a
we do about
Barbie.
Barbie and Spider-Verse, and then we need
Yeah.
to find one more that we love to add on.
Cool. Let's pick
Does that sound
Barbies.
good?
Yeah, I'd say in a movie that is so smart about its like gender politics and like how it champions like also the what I don't know what the term
Liberated man.
the liberated man, men's rights, whatever you want to say, men fenders. I think it does such a good
Yeah,
job
men vendors.
of like in a movie so much about feminism. I think it also like does good for men, like it
That's the
champions
Cleverest movie ever.
So all
I
of that
love
is
it.
to say, I'm Just Ken is like a real microcosm of that. Like it's
I really love Kayla's epiphany though. Of, like
It was a
as
moment.
of like, oh yes, she's not just a piece of play. This isn't just a movie about Barbie goes to
I very much
Hollywood
had
or something.
feelings,
Like,
feelings similar to
Right.
Sasha's. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like a Barbie quote is "math is hard," and well, while I think that's funny because math is hard, it's not a great look for a sexy doll to be like math is hard. So that was my vision of Barbie, and that's another reason why I didn't love what this Barbie movie was gonna be. I didn't understand it, and then I was like, "Oh, you know what? That is a great way of looking at it."
the opening
and
scene.
I wasn't honestly. I haven't been involved, like given much thought to Greta getting snubbed for Best Director.
I'm pissed,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Well, now I am because I really like how you put it, Caleb. Like how she turns something into nothing or nothing into something. You know,
Just-
and,
it was something
and
that
it's
has a
brilliant.
negative. It
And-
has a negative connotation, and she just fucking like made it something beautiful.
Yeah.
Barbie is great.
Snubbed.
Snubbed hard. I was so mad all day.
have you guys seen the meme of Jesse Plemons?
No, I don't think so.
From, he's in Killers of the Flower Moon or whatever, and
He is.
he's like,
like
I'm here to see about the oil that's been stolen or whatever. And there's a meme format. And he's like, I'm here to see about the movies. Who's snubbing them? really,
That's good.
Great. That's
so serious too.
Jesse Plemons, our golden god right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I like him.
What's
our list?
Our list is the opening
I'm
scene
in.
of Barbie.
Our
Fishes.
Patron Saints?
Mm.
Patron Saints.
Oh, Patron Saints. Oh, yeah.
Clemens.
I think he should be.
Barbie opening. Put it up there.
Yeah, I did. I bolded it.
Cool.
I threw it
cool.
up there.
Now we got a Spider-Man. Let's do what did D
Canon
call it?
event?
It was more clever than me.
It's a canon event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that includes the whole
It bleeds right into
like
that.
run, but even like the canon
we
event
get the chase
specifically
scene
is-
though too, right? We get all the
That-
chases.
It includes
Right,
the
right.
chase scene.
Isaac
It
Hayes,
includes the
greatest
chase
villain
scene.
of
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so good.
Literally, I'll say this now, even though for Guardians, I literally in my long notes it says like
Yeah.
Guardians 3 the whole damn movie.
Oh wow!
I wanted to pick a moment, but every time I would think about a moment, it bleeds right into the next one and bleeds right into the next one. It's hard to pick.
Yeah. A good Mario movie coming out. That's fun. Yeah, I love that creep scene in Guardians. I mean, I talked all about it. Garl, his death from Sea of Stars. I think the one thing, and it's really what left me with a sour taste in my mouth about that game in a lot of ways is it ends up kind of sort of being meaningless. Garl doesn't actually die.
Hey, I would just like to counterpoint real quick. If you have to do a collectathon to get a true ending, that ending ain't true.
Hey, here. Here. Video games forgot how to end in 2023. You're right.
Yeah,
Scroll
Garl,
up
like,
for me, Eric.
Let's scroll up.
I don't know. I disagree with Eric, but that's okay.
His sacrifice is phenomenal, but then it gets erased. I don't know. But still, the scene and
No, it still
everything
matters.
around
Like, it's still, like, I don't know.
it's good. His death
Silly,
is
silly
good.
poo-poo.
It's good.
The concept of borrowed time,
Yeah.
the concept of borrowed time, and that just kind of being this somber back note to that final adventure is it's been a while since I felt like a fantasy game was really a fucking fantasy game.
And if the game had ended right then and there, yeah, you're right. You're right.
But then Garl gets to bake bread for a dragon, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
cool. Awesome.
So
Yeah.
good.
Hell yeah, he does. And then he dies, and then he gets resurrected, and then they also go to fucking the future and shit. Like that game just go. Anyway, we don't need it.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Garl's great. Garl's a great character, and his death is great. Okay. So we've got Spider-Verse, we got Barbie, we got The Last of Us, we've got The Bear. Great things from all of them. Anyone else dig Loki season 2? I don't know, or the end or anything. Mike, you didn't check it out.
No,
I
that's a
didn't-
no
I
on
didn't make
Garl's
it.
death.
I
I
didn't-
thought we were moving Garl's death up.
I'd be fine with Garl's death being up there if we're. I didn't mean to like say as though. There's caveats to it, but it's still very good.
Zelda is a fucking dragon.
I loved it. I love Zelda Dragon. Mike,
Won't let
hated
it happen.
The
Okay.
carnivals.
It ruins the whole. It ruins Breath of the Wild story.
Mm.
It ruins Zelda's moment from that. Like it makes no fucking
Time.
sense.
Time, man. Time
She
makes
had a
shit not
moment?
make sense.
Yes, she has moments in Breath of the Wild. Yes,
I
but
had
anyway,
lots of Ted Lasso scenes in my long list, but I didn't have that one on there. I knew you would.
It's so good. It's really good. I think that would work out of context too. Like if you guys just checked out that one episode and you don't really even know the like Ted Lasso characters or anything like that.
Sure.
I think it's really good. The Queen Charlotte ending sounds pretty good.
Oh, it's beautiful.
yeah. I liked Dee's passion argument for "I have no enemies" was very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm good with that one too. Yeah.
Barry
I thought you
needs
guys
a
would
gun
pick
was
either
good.
Garl's death or
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
Eric had to go and sully it, and
The makers of Sea of Stars had.
I
to
mean,
go ahead and
Vinland
sell it.
Saga. I'm sure Ryan would obviously defend it, and Dee's defending it. That's like
Yeah, I mean, if I had to side by side, if you're like, press the button, Garl's death, or I have no enemies, I'm choosing I have no enemies every time.
Oh,
what
interesting.
about Herald of the Darkness or I have no enemies?
Even seeing that thing out of context, Herald of the Darkness, amazing.
It is quite a scene.
It is almost two moments too, because then there's the performance at the Game Awards too. Like that really that locks it in for me in a way. Like it's like getting to see that live.
No, I think
quote.
I kind of like Alan Wake. I kind of like Alan Wake too. I'm gonna vote for Alan Wake too.
I gotta stick with Vinland Saga. It takes a slow season and makes it feel like it's not slow. Like the first season of Vinland Saga is just death and battle and politics and backstabbing and like very Game of Thronesy, like
sounds like a bummer.
Like nonstop. It is kind of a bummer with the context of like Thorfinn he's on a revenge quest and all this other shit's happening. He doesn't give a shit. He just wants to kill this guy. But then he doesn't get to. And season 2 is just this beautiful character study with him and what it means to live, when you don't have vengeance driving you.
Takes a sad song and makes it better.
Poignant.
Hey Jude.
I'm down for that too. But I figured, like, okay, that's 2 for Vinland, 1 for Alan Wake. You two make a vote, and we'll go with that one.
Ooh.
Okay. It's hard.
Sorry,
it's hard.
Aaron.
I mean,
I don't know which one Aaron would pick.
Like, D made a great argument. I wish I had seen it. I wish I had. Like,
Right.
I have the context of Herald of Darkness.
It's a culmination, though. Even more so.
I love that. I do love those.
I
type
get
of
it.
things.
I get it. It's worthy of making this choice.
I think one thing that wasn't mentioned about Herald of Darkness, it's also a recap of the first game, which is interesting. For someone jumping into Alan Wake 2 for the first time, I think that needs to be said too. It's also like, hey, we're recapping the events that already happened, and we're doing it in 13 minutes or whatever. It's interesting.
I think if Eric was the true champion of light, he would have added it though and locked it in, and he didn't. He is the Herald of Darkness. We've settled it. My vote is Vinland.
Okay. I think that locks it in. Vinland Saga. I have no enemies. Okay. I dig it. I like that is a somewhat
good ass list.
Yeah, we don't have any games, but fuck games. They weren't good this year at all, right? No.
It was real. Moments was really tough. Like you got 5, and I just stopped. I was like, well, I can't keep looking at it because I want to keep changing it. I picked it. Here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Had to make.
I really just wanted to have Ascend from Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like just knowing this is broken ass power. Like this is the best. This is the best shit. Like
I would have voted for it. All right.
Fun.
Our best moments of 2023 are episode 3, Bill and Frank from The Last of Us, the Fishes episode from The Bear season 2, the opening scene of Barbie in Barbie, the It's a Canon event scene from Across the Spider-Verse, and finally, the I Have No Enemies scene from Vinland Saga season 2. And we're back with the best movies of 2023 at the Nonsense of the Year Awards. We're going to start off with Ryan, Tomas, and Aaron. Actually, it's Aaron, Ryan, then Tomas. They've given me their lists.
Right.
And I will give them. I don't know if they're supposed to be in order. I'm gonna try to do them in bottom up order.
Do we? I see one that's been added already.
Yeah, well, that is. I've actually added them all, but I'm obscuring them.
Oh, okay.
So that there's a little bit of
Oh, I see how you did it. That's cool. That's cool.
So
Smart
Power of computers.
Yeah, hey, they are special things.
I didn't know they could do that these days.
Oh, okay. So Aaron's number 5, at least in the order that he sent them, is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Great film. We all love it. We'll talk more about Across the Spider-Verse. I am sure. Number 4 was Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Just a fun ass movie. On my long list for a long time. Spoilers. Hell House, LLC Origins, The Carmichael Manor, almost made the cut on mine, but number 3 for Aaron, Hell House, LLC Origins, The Carmichael Manor. Number 2, Talk to Me, still need to see that one, really need to see. And number 1, No One Will Save You, the Hulu joint, cool ass movie.
Good list, Aaron.
Yeah.
I think Tomas's like we got a good Mario movie. I think we got a good D&D movie is another.
Yes,
Great year
yes.
for D&D, man. Great year for
Really
D&D
was.
between Baldur's Gate and the movie.
And the Wizards of the Coast layoffs. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Well, I was gonna say the Magic of the Gathering card
Set, yeah.
set, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 5 on Ryan's list, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Boo.
Poor Things, number 4. No Hard
Four
Feelings. 4 things, very nice. No Hard Feelings, 3 words, and number 3. Fun Jennifer Lawrence flick.
Yeah.
John Wick Chapter 4 for number 2, and
Good movie.
number 1, Godzilla, -1. So I guess it's 0 then, because if it's first on his list and it's -1, you could do the math. Godzilla, -1. Tomas's come in no order, I'm sure. He's not an order guy.
He's not an order man.
But
Mr. Nelson's list.
I'm gonna read them how he wrote them. Just Super Mario. Just Super Mario. Just Trolls. I think this might be the 3rd or 4th Trolls film, but is it
Trolls band together? I think is
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kids loved it.
Trolls.
Got some
We got
bops
a
in it.
new NSYNC song because of that
Yeah,
Sick.
film,
Sick.
and it's
got
pretty
some
good.
bops. Got some bops.
Elemental for Tomas. And last but not least, Ninja
Teenage
Turtles.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'll have you know, he capitalized the other ones, Elemental, Trolls, and Super Mario. Chose not to capitalize Ninja Turtles, so I don't know if that means anything. Tomas is a cipher. TMNT. I was gonna say Shredder's Revenge. No, Mutant Mayhem.
Also fun.
Yes.
Wrong category.
Man, remember Shredder's Revenge? Holy shit!
That's fun. All right. I'll go. Right. That's how we do it. Where's mine?
Pretty good movie year, right? Pretty
Loved it.
pretty good.
I doubled up with Aaron, also in the same spot in 5. I put Across the Spider-Verse.
Ooh.
Just I enjoyed that first movie quite a bit, the first Spider-Verse movie, and this one just like improved upon everything. I don't know, like in ways that I didn't really think were possible, because I love the characters of the first one. I love the animation and stuff, and it just, I don't know, they just kept going in wonderful directions, and I'm so excited for 2026 or whatever when we get the follow-up and the wrap-up, apparently, of the Spider-Verse saga. So Across the Spider-Verse, I doubled up on that one for number 5. Miles Morales, great character. Number 4 for me is, looking weird here, Leave the World Behind. Just was talking about this movie yesterday with a friend, hopefully getting her to watch it. Katie, you should watch Leave the World Behind. We went to a beach, and it was weird, and it gave me Leave the World Behind vibes. A movie of scenes, I think, just like little vignettes, little like moments, a movie of moments that just really hit me. It couldn't make my best moments list, but the teeth scene will live with me forever, I think. In Leave the World Behind.
Take care of your teeth, folks.
Yeah. The best M. Night Shyamalan film that's not made by M. Night Shyamalan. I'll do a copy paste. I forgot that I could do that. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Love that movie. From the creep opening to everything except the after credits, I guess. The after credits is kind of a bummer to me. But love the second there's 2, right? I don't know. There's like a mid and an after. Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, just just so good. Such a wrap up of that team and everyone's storylines. I love how much into Rocket's background we got. He gets, even though he's incapacitated through most of the movie, you still like get to. He's still there. He's still the central focus of the film in many ways. While also delving into, Gamora and Star-Lord, their relationship and everything else, the aftermath of Thanos and everything, and just James Gunn, come back, please to the MCU. We need you.
He ain't coming back. He's never coming back.
Just give me more. That's fine. Just give me more, James Gunn. I'm cool with that.
Suicide Squad again, please. Number
Shout
2.
out to Bradley Cooper, for that one.
Bradley Cooper.
Good call. Good freaking call. Justice for Cooper, man. Maybe he could get in for a future portrayal of Rocket. Number 2 for me is Barbie. Just a great time at the movies. Piggybacking on a lot of things Kayla said. Like, I was more excited, I think, for this, but I didn't realize it was going to be a pseudo musical. I didn't realize just how smart it was going to be and everything else. I like Lady Bird. I love Little Women, and Barbie just takes it to that next level. So,
the creativity of it is just the next level. Like Lady Bird and Little Women, like for one, Little Women is like an adaptation, You're working off of something already, and Barbie is too, technically, but like you really dug into parts that haven't been explored before of Barbie. Like, yeah, Barbie's gone on adventures, but that's not what this movie was.
Barbie's gynecologist dug into some area.
Hey. I feel like we should have talked about that scene, because that's the scene that like launched 1,000 gynecological visits, or at least the question of a billion little girls.
Women's health. Cheers to women's health. Let's go.
Right. So Barbie, just a fun ride, and the most fun ride I had this year in a theater was John Wick Chapter 4. I doubled up on that with Ryan. That was an early part of the year, right? Had to get on my phone right away and put that, like, okay, well, this is probably making my, top 10 list or something this year. And nothing could, like, unseat it. Even, saw a lot of movies, see a lot of movies every year. And just a ride, man. Just like, I had 3 John Wick scenes on my best moments list, and I just thought, like, okay, that's silly. I'm already nominating it for best movie. Why, let's give something else some love. But like the Hotline Miami scene, the stairs, the Arc de Triomphe, like
just the introduction of Kane. I had Kane on like my short list.
Kane's so fucking cool. The doorbells, like, goodness gracious.
I like the like video game top down fight.
That was so
good too.
Miami stuff. Yeah,
it's so good. And the wildest thing is they've asked like the creator, like, oh, so that's you must have played some Hotline Miami, and he's like, I've never heard of that game ever.
And
I
don't believe that.
Well, he said it's like this other game, like this way more obscure game, and I wish I had it on top of my mind. But
it
like
was just obviously a game to me. So
it was inspired by video games, but not the video game everyone thought it was inspired by. It was some other.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had that in front of me, but yeah, they asked. They've asked. Like IGN has asked. Like, oh, that's obviously like Hotline Miami or like GTA, like one of the first GTAs, right? Like that you're going off of, and like no, actually it's whatever, some arcade game or something that like was way more obscure.
Smash TV, probably.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah, but just the most fun I've had in a movie theater for a long time, and it just continues to just live in my mind rent free, as the kids say. Right? They still say that. I have no idea what kids say.
Probably a millennial
Kids
thing.
don't say anything; they just stare at things and text mean things. That's all they do.
Good stuff. The kids are all right. Yeah, John Wick Chapter 4 is my number one film of 2023. D, what are your lists?
Hey, hi, what's up? Hey, everybody. So, just go ahead and super lock in John Wick Chapter 4.
I'll italicize it after I bolded it.
Yeah, do the same thing with Across the Spider-Verse.
Good shit.
Also, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves is on my list.
Ooh,
Boom.
man.
And so is Guardians 3.
It's a great movie.
So good. Now, what's that? That's most of my list there. The only other one I have on here that I really like had a strong connection to was it's weird thinking about it, but I really liked No Hard Feelings.
Fun movie.
Mm.
But the caveat is that it wasn't as good as the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Boom. Oh, Super Mario Brothers movie.
Mario.
Brothers Bros movie. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're gonna have probably more boldings and more italicizings than we have spots for, but we'll get to that when we
think you're right.
cross that. Kayla, your top 5 movies of 2023.
My number 4 or number 5 is John Wick.
Hey,
4.
Wow.
What else can
Yeah,
I do? I'm
highlight
gonna
it.
underline it, I guess. Yeah. So now we got the bold, italicized, and underline.
Okay, I think we have our number one, maybe.
Maybe.
There's more bolding to be had. But I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Oh yes, Ninja Turtles. That's the true title there. Good stuff. TMNT Mutant Mayhem.
I don't have to type anything anymore. I got Spider-Verse Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3,
Oh,
Barbie.
goodness. Wow.
We got a bold the Bobby.
Bold the Barbie.
Old the
Not
Babby.
italicized yet or underlined, so we'll see. that might be not on the list. Mike, you get
Bam,
to
bam, bam.
All right,
round out
get
best
ready to
movies.
type. I hope you didn't get lazy over there.
There you go.
Um,
Get the fingers going.
Number 5, just a movie. I just had to add it to the list. I had to have it on there. They Clone Tyrone.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
The Netflix joint. 3 really different performance. Well, from the leads, and I think they're all good. I think they're all really good. John Boyega is in a John Singleton movie. Jamie Foxx is in like Dolomite.
He was
like,
so fun.
yeah, and just a really cool science fiction story. Very, very funny, very witty, very well written, I thought. And I don't know, it felt like like an In Living Color, like how Saturday Night Live became like all these movies and stuff. If In Living Color could have had that, I feel like that's like this movie fits in that. Like just an In Living Color sketch that got blown up into something bigger, into 90 minutes.
That's a good call.
And I really enjoyed it. I loved it. Number 4 is my spooky of the year, Cobweb.
Cobweb.
I just thought it was so well done. It's small, it's really just Anthony Starr and Lizzie Kaplan and their young son, pretty much the whole movie. Lizzie Kaplan gives such a creepy, cool performance in this one. She's, when turns out when that big-eyed lady wants to be creepy, she can be very, very creepy. And it just felt like this mix of like Tim Burton and Wes Craven and all like these things that I grew up liking in horror. And it's awesome. Highly recommend Cobweb. My number 3, no typing on this one. Leave the World Behind.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, when Eric brought this up when we were making our study sheet list, and he said, this is the best M. Night movie that we've gotten in a while, and I really that resonated with me because I had Knock at the Cabin on my list for a long time. And shout out to that. I think that's a great performance.
It's on my long list.
I thought Batista was great in it. His character I had on my short list as well. I want to ask that character if he went and saw Kiki's Delivery Service or not. But no, I think this movie is just better. Leave the World Behind. Great performances from everyone in it. And just a really I love this kind of plot device of just like shit's gone down, and what do we do? I can't wait for Civil War, like later on this year. And Ethan Hawke's he doesn't know what to do. He can't do anything without, his cell phone and this and that. And the cameo from Kevin Bacon, I thought was so good as like the doomsday prepper. He was like just so scary and menacing in that moment. Mahershala is so good. So good. Haven't seen Julia Roberts in what seems like 20 years. It was nice to see her, able to do it as well. And I want a sequel. I want to see more. I want to know what's going on. We probably won't get it, but
we're getting Civil War.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Just a really surprise, cool event of a movie. My number 2 is How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This was my Oppenheimer. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people like, oh man, the Trinity test. I was on the edge of my seat. Like, nah, man. These kids making a bomb to blow up just a section of a pipe was so much more hair-raising and tense than anything in Oppenheimer, I thought. Great movie. And my number 1 is Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Gosh, what can you do after you've bolded, italicized, and underlined? Let's make it red for Spider-Man, right?
Love it.
Black,
Red and black, baby. I don't love that first movie. I'll catch flack for that. I don't like the way it looks. I just didn't connect with like really Miles or anything, I don't know, in it. And this one, like starting off with Gwen Stacy and just having these juxtaposed different art styles right from the get-go with like that weird, the vulture scene at the beginning. And it just keeps going up and up from there. I loved Miles's parents in this, all the scenes with them. We talked about it earlier, but that chase scene it's like the most unbelievable animated movie scene ever. It's the best. And I don't know, like that ending, I said it on the pod. I was in I think my theater did not have AC. I'm sweating so much. And I had no thought of leaving and just could not. I wanted more and more. And this movie kept getting compared to like Empire Strikes Back. And yeah, whatever moment those people had for Empire with that, Vader scene.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I had that exact moment with this. It was like, whoa, they're doing that. Wow. Like I thought it was exceptional. I loved it.
Hell yeah. And that's why it's our number one movie of 2023. I'm locking that in. It's already at the top. It has been bolded, it's been underlined, it's been italicized, and it's been highlighted in red. Cross the Spider-Verse, man. What a trip. John Wick Chapter 4 has also been bolded, italicized, and underlined. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has been bolded and italicized. Before we figure out what the last two are, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to some things that are other people kind of threw on there. No One Will Save You, one of the coolest alien movies I've seen in a while. Just almost no dialogue in this movie, which is interesting. And I think it's a really cool primer for seeing Caitlin Dever take on the role of Abby in season 2 of The Last of Us. I'm not really into the casting, but she still does a phenomenal job in this movie of like being a physical ass actor. Like it's cool. It's Home Alone against aliens in a lot of ways, and she's a badass. Really, really cool. No Hard Feelings. I've heard Jennifer Lawrence is really funny, like in real life and stuff. I've never really seen it much in films. I think she's a good actor. Until No Hard Feelings. I think she was very funny, and the beach scene is just
beach scene is
insane.
so fucking funny, man.
Like,
I laughed so hard during that scene. I was so ready for this movie to go like just lean into those rom-com tropes, and just every time I put my guard down, they subverted a rom-com trope, and that's why it made like my long list. Because it just really was a good subversion of like that, of the two people make each other better rom-com, premise, which, ultimately they do, but not for the reasons and the tropes that usually happen.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like that movie a lot. And How to Blow Up a Pipeline, Mike said it. It's like that's the real Trinity test. Is like that movie to me is way more tense and way more like anxiety inducing in multiple ways. The bringing together, it's funny because it's similar. It's like a bringing together of like people who don't know each other and might not work well together and might be subverting each other and stuff. You don't know, like, is someone a cop, whatever. Like that's all in Oppenheimer too. I haven't put much thought into the parallels between those two movies until Mike brought it up. But yeah, just so tense and just a bunch of unknowns too. I think that's another thing is like Oppenheimer just packed to the gills with like the best actors of our generation, and How to Blow Up a Pipeline is just I don't know any of them.
Kids.
And they do just a great
college sports.
funny. But yeah.
They really put it all out there.
Just wanted to. Yes, they do. Be quiet. And they cloned Tyrone too. Great pick. I like.
I like Tyrone.
Yeah.
If you guys do get a chance, so you should watch Godzilla -1.
I'm into it.
Yeah, it's really good, and they're doing a black and white release.
Ooh.
That version is 5 minutes from my house, and I kind of want to check that out.
Oh shit.
But
Ooh.
So it's and just they got the all-star talent for this movie, man. It's I if it hadn't come out when it did, if it came out this year, like beginning of this year, but I mean last year was just so stacked, man.
Is it as good, like looking as they say? Because it had like a $15 million budget or something. But people say it's like way better than anything the MCU visually has like come out.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
There's a seamlessness and care that they clearly took, like trying to really make you feel like this is actually happening. And it just
realism.
Man, yeah, it just looks so good, man. If I had to, if it was just based on that, I would bump it up here with the big dogs. But I mean, these other ones got that and story and the acting. Like these, it can't hang with the big boys.
I dig it. Okay. So we're probably locking in. Well, we're definitely locking in Spider-Verse, John Wick 4, and I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We'll talk, but we've got also bolded. We've got Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Leave the World Behind, and Barbie also got multiple nominations from us. So let's talk. Let's do we lock in Guardians? Is that enough for like the 3 spot? That
No.
Okay. Mike says no.
Y'all loved Guardians 3, like
Loved it. Watched it again recently and felt no different.
Loved it more.
I just rewatched yesterday.
Oh,
You can put it 5 or 4. We can.
I don't mind that.
or 6.
We can move
6?
things. We can move things around.
Classic.
I mean,
Convince me not to love it, Mike. Do it right now. Convince me to not love this movie.
It's not as good as the other 2.
I mean, sure, the other 2 are 10s, and maybe this is a 9, but it's not a good argument.
well, 2's like a 13, and 3 might be a 10 or something, maybe.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't have a lot of good feelings for the MCU right now. Now TMNT.
Are we leaving John Wick at 2?
I love it.
Okay, so we're
It
picking
was,
3.
it was on like 17 lists.
Spot number 3, TMNT. I'm into that.
Okay. We'll see how that looks.
Well, we got Barbie as well.
We do.
I
have
want Barbie on there too.
Okay,
Right.
Okay.
TMNT, it was really nice. I think Spider-Verse, if we're comparing the 2, like, not even a conversation to have. But
we did get like, there's characters that even have like made the lists and stuff, so it's worthy.
It's good. Yeah, I
We all liked
it.
it.
I really like it. I can't wait to have more of it. The needle drops and that, like hearing De La Soul, I know, was so good.
I think Mike's right about like comparing Spider-Verse to TMNT. It is a drop, but then I also compare it to the Super Mario movie in my mind, and I'm like, I think that's superior. Like I think TMNT's superior to the Mario movie.
I agree. I love the Mario movie. I love that it exists.
Sure.
I love that it's pretty good. It's very good, and it's
Good,
beautiful, and the music.
We've seen the Turtles on screen a lot. We have not seen Mario even once on screen in a good way, until this year. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, as much as Mutant Mayhem like has all these like really fun like beats, the chemistry of those boys, so
even
good.
Casting kids, was a great, like thought.
It's such a swing, right? It's such a swing for a movie. But I mean, Peaches though. I mean Jack Black though. Those fucking Keegan Michael Keeb though. Like it's not the most elaborate.
Well, you can say that, but he's in both.
Yeah, that's what I was avoiding. That I think as far as like, since they're of like a very similar caliber, obviously we have a lot of love for both of those. I think Impact Super Mario head and shoulders above Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But I liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles more. And
That's fine.
Right, but I think that it does such a fine job of leaning more into the Seth Rogen of it and giving us like adult comedy and children's comedy, because a lot of you guys have kids, and I know Aaron's daughter watches this movie every fucking day. I could too. Like the like such balance that it has of like having a really meaningful story that we can all relate to, whereas like Super Mario doesn't. It's kind of like the lackiest of story. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles does. Like, you love Super Mario and it's good, but it's like really, really, really kiddish story. Whereas Teenage Mutant Turtles obviously is a story about kids, but we all get it. Superfly's fucking badass. Like, it gives that, like, who's the dude who does it?
Ice-T.
Thank you.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Yeah,
Ice Cube. And, like, so all us millennials, we love us some Ice Cube. Like,
Sure.
it just hits on so many levels.
I love that the humans are the mutants in the movie. They look so fucking weird. It's
And
so
they're
cool.
the worst
Right.
people too, right? Like they're all assholes, you know. Like aside from Ao, our queen. Well, we don't
If we had to
actually
pick-
have to have that. Like, like we could totally have a list where neither of them are on. If we don't, like, if we can't choose between TMNT and Super Mario Brothers, we actually don't need
I
to.
would rather at least one. That's an interesting like one or the other comparison.
Yeah, because we have Barbie, we have D&D, we have Leave the World Behind as like other contenders as well, including Guardians. I know Mike was a little down on Guardians, but
Okay, so let me bring you to Leave the World Behind.
Sure.
I don't love the
Yeah,
ending.
good. That's a good movie.
Everything in the movie is good for me until the ending.
Okay.
I've
It's
watched it a couple
ambiguous,
times
right?
now,
Yeah.
and I think it's kind of winky. Like, I don't know. Like
Like
it's
what?
It's a cute ending.
That she got to watch it?
She gets to leave the world behind and finish the show that she's been dying to watch. We don't know if things are going to be okay. If she's, like, I like it.
I could take or leave
I
the
know.
friends of it all, but I really like the Julia Roberts and I cannot think of her name. The other actress
Buddies.
that just overlooking the city and the realization
That's
of what
all
this
good.
all is.
That's all good.
That's the ending for me. The girl in the bunker and the friends and all that is like okay, fun. Like Mike said, cute.
Right.
Yeah, it's.
I wish
whatever.
I could just cut it out. I just don't like it. It leaves a what the fuck in my stuff. I don't like it.
Okay, but is that enough to put it below TMNT, Super Mario, D&D,
Yes.
Guardians? Oh, okay, Kayla says
I mean,
that.
for me, you guys have to feel out my argument.
Well, let's talk about the Barbie in the room. Only nominated twice out of 7. I think you and me, Kayla, then, right? I think we were the two, probably.
I really like Barbie.
Don't do it to Greta.
No, I love Greta.
Please don't.
I love Ryan Gosling. I love
Ryan Gosling. Right. And
I love
that's
Margot Robbie.
That's purely I understand that Margot Robbie is fantastic and the movie is fantastic and just my men fender of it all is just right. I just like also funnier stuff. Obviously, throughout all these conversations, you guys all like more dramatic, heart-wrenching, traumatic experiences. I like more make me laugh, make me feel good human, make me feel like a good human. Ryan Gosling does that for me and Ken and in Barbie.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason he's on my list higher than Margot Robbie is just because I just enjoy that plot line more.
Sure.
I don't control the railroads.
ones.
I love that. It's so good. Margot's great. You guys are silly. Ken's great. Ryan Gosling's a superstar.
She is fantastic, but it's the more look at yourself and deeper thought of a performance than hey, make me laugh and cry and feel good. Yeah. And that's what Ken does versus Margot.
Ryan's a performer. Margot's an actor to me. Like Ryan's everything. He does it all. And
that's why he got his moment to shine
with both of them.
In a musical. Like what? And it's like a long part of that movie. So good.
So Barbie number 1, then, I guess, is what we're saying.
I won't say it has to be number 1, but I like where it's at for.
You know, I on disappointments, I wanted to put comedy and horror as my disappointment of the year. I did not dig any of the comedies really. Bottoms was, I didn't like Bottoms.
Oh.
I didn't really like No Hard Feelings. But then I was like, well, you know what? Barbie was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Did you watch Rye Lane?
Oh, Rye Lane's, that's more of a
I
romance
didn't. I didn't.
rom-com.
Yeah, but it's fun. But it has like wholesome humor and also like relationship humor.
Yeah. Check out Rye Lane,
Right.
everyone.
Right.
It's on my long list. It's a good one.
That's cute. But yeah, no, comedies. Barbie is the comedy.
Tyrone. They cloned Tyrone. Good.
It was funny.
Comedy.
Yeah, right.
But no,
Very
you're 100% right. Like it's.
I like the list where it's at right now.
What?
To be honest.
Wait up. So that you mean Spider-Verse, Wick, Mayhem, Barbie, and Guardians?
Yeah, I like that.
I like all those movies.
I don't know. D&D's got a good group, man. D&D, Chris Pine. Man.
I'd almost swap D&D for TMNT for me.
Really?
My personal list. I'd swap D&D and TMNT and then I'd feel better about our overall list. I think I liked Dungeons and Dragons a little more than I liked Mutant Mayhem, but I liked them both. I don't know. They're both good.
Wow. Okay.
They're about the same. I don't know.
How do you feel about the 5?
Yeah, just because I love hearing you guys talk about Barbie. Haven't seen it.
Yeah, check it out.
I wish I could weigh in more about feelings on Barbie. Again, it's one of those I've heard nothing but absolutely good things. So I fully trust your guys' opinion on it. So I don't feel like that needs to move. But like I said before, I don't feel as strongly about TMNT as I do, other choices. Like made a hard argument for like its quality over Super Mario. That's fine, but like over D&D for me, nah.
Wow. Okay.
So I moved it to the 5 slot. Do we feel as though between D and me both liking Dungeons and Dragons more than TMNT, does that swap their positions? Does that do anything for us? What do you think, Kayla? You could, Mike, I think you like TMNT more than D&D, right?
I would swap Guardians in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep Mutant Mayhem.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kayla, what do you think about that?
So it's like
I moved Barbie up to 3 just because of the movement of other things, but
I like that. I like that. And so yeah, that's what I was trying to.
I like it too.
So I like. So you want Across the Spider-Verse, John Wick 4, Barbie, D&D?
Guardians D&D would be my probably pick, and in fact I'd probably, like, if it was me,
I'm fine with that.
I'd actually leave the world behind probably over D&D, but I don't think I'm winning that argument. But
no.
Yeah, I would have Leave the World Behind on the 5, but I'm fine with
that's 2 of us
leaving it behind.
Yeah, I don't think it's got enough juice.
So just Guardian stays, Turtles out.
Yeah, the D&D would swap with TMNT, I guess, in my list maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
They're both,
everybody else?
They're so neck and neck for me. I don't know.
I want 4 and 5 to be a combo of D&D and TMNT.
Okay.
So do I. That sounds fine.
Well, that would take
that would take Guardians out.
Yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought
we're essentially locking in the top 3 of Across the Spider-Verse, John Wick Chapter 4, and Barbie, and we're kind of deciding on what 4 and 5 are at this point, I think.
I thought you were trying to get 2 for 1. Okay.
Oh, yeah, top 6 now, yeah.
Top six.
It's not the machine of making sense, like... As an astute observer once said.
Yeah. Poor Things, let's put it on there.
Yeah, let's get Poor
That'd be
Things
good,
on
right?
here. Yeah.
You know what? Wild card. You're
I'm
right.
sure once I
Wild card.
see it, I'll be like, well, I really should have seen Poor Things before before we made those lists, but unfortunately I haven't. I'm sure it's great. Kayla, any more thoughts on 4-5?
I liked what you said, which was Turtles out, D&D in, Guardian stays.
D, do you like Guardians in the 5 and then getting rid of Turtles?
That's a good call. Yeah, D, what do you think?
As I stare at this list, even with Guardians so fresh in my mind, like I think like it might be partially the Marvel fatigue, but like I'm like I did enjoy TMNT like overall better. It didn't have the same emotional response as Guardians, like on a personal level, but I think I did enjoy it more. And it was just like it's kind of the same thing. Like I think if I have to be, a little objective about it, and just for like a good top 5 list, I would have to take Guardians out.
Whoa. Okay, so that's 2 votes for taking it out. Interesting.
Now what?
Now what? Yeah, we shouldn't have let D decide. Well, it seems like no one, like D&D, is at least maybe moved up to 4 and more of a locked-in status. Is that how I'm taking? So okay, D, I should ask you more directly. Like, you were comparing Guardians to TMNT and how you've kind of felt there. Compare, I guess, the 3, like D&D. Is D&D like top of those 3, or?
Yeah, it's definitely top of those 3 for me.
Okay.
Just like I'm, again, partially objective, partially subjective. D&D is just that's my shit. They were saying things, and I was like, "Ooh, I know what that is. Ooh, that's good. Oh, that's the place I know. Oh yeah, I was so in.
In a candy store.
Yeah, it was so good. Like every little detail, little reference they put in there, even stuff I was just like, man, that was like a thing I barely paid attention to, and they made it a plot point or something. Just crazy fun stuff. And yeah, like killer cast, like
man.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So D&D, I think, moves up because would you also say, Mike, D&D over Guardians?
Yeah.
Okay, but not over TMNT necessarily.
I would have TMNT for D&D 5.
Gotcha. I think D&D probably jumps Guardians at this point, and then it's now
we just got to pick the number 5.
Yeah, between Guardians and TMNT, and I think that's where we're real split of like, I would say I'm Guardians, you'd say you're Guardians, maybe Kayla, right? Or
I don't
did
want
I
to
take
pick.
that right?
I want to flip a quarter.
I will say if we're playing by the kind of sort of rules we've normally done, 3 different people had Guardians on their list.
Yeah.
And only 2.
I had Guardians higher. Guardians was my number 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget where I had Guardians actually. What did I have Guardians at? I had Guardians at 3.
So I guess I'll that'll help. That'll make my vote. Guardians for me.
All right.
Okay. No one's ever happy in a good debate
Yeah.
like this. So, do we like Across the Spider-Verse, John Wick Chapter 4, Barbie, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
I'll
it.
accept it.
I like it.
Okay.
Hey, Spider-Verse, though, and John Wick, those are some flicks
They
right
just,
there.
top tier. There's tiers, there's S tier, there's A tier, there's okay. So, in the category of TMNT Mutant Mayhem presents the Machine of Nonsense Best Movies of 2023, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, John Wick Chapter 4, Barbie Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Woo, not even day
This
2.
make no sense. This is nonsense. This list don't make any sense, guys.
D&D rolled a 20.
Perfect.
Got on that list. Look at that.
D&D rolled a 20. And yeah, not even on the cusp.
It'll get its moment to shine on my list.
Ooh,
So
good stuff. Yeah, good ass movie year.
Cool.
That is the end of day 2 of the Nonsense of the Year awards. Day 3 and our final day will be the best shows and best video games of 2023.
buckle up. That'll be a long one.
Buckle
Intermission must happen.
buckle up, fuckle up, chuckle up, do it all. That'll be
Knuckle up.
yeah, that'll be the Nonsense of the Year awards. Final day, day 3, coming at you soon. Thank you for listening to another marathon of the Nonsense of the Year awards. These are so fun to do. Third year doing these.
Yeah.
So what a
Woohoo!
great
It's fun.
time.
Thanks,
It is
guys.
great. Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for contributing. If you've got any thoughts on anything we've missed or anything we were wrong on, let us know. We're all over social media. You can hit us up at machineofnonsense@gmail.com as well. So send your comments, your questions, your feedback, all of the above, corrections and omissions. That's it. We are getting out of here, and we're saying goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye, Barbie.